What's up? What's up, everybody? Hope y'all doing well. It is currently August the 13th at 6:52 p.m. Sorry for getting this episode late to you. But either way, this is 413 Sports Talk. This is a milestone I've wanted to achieve ever since I knew I was going to do episodes and started to create the podcast. It is the 413th episode, also known as the 413 episode. It's a shame me and the podcast's original two creators couldn't see eye to eye, personally, professionally, to be able to be together and see this moment. But it's something I've really wanted to make big, and just here we are, and it's just reflecting on everything is this is a wow moment. Anyway, not to get too deep in, wasn't able to grab anyone as far as guests are concerned today, but I'm going to have a sit down with some powers that be and other people who are interested in working with me and see what can be done going forward, ensuring that everyone is getting the best possible product from us here. And in fact, the monies are being invested back into the show at a more consistent rate, which is something that is definitely going to come within the very near and soonest future. Either way, today we'll touch on many subjects, including the news, NFL, NCAA football. I believe I have some more stuff, and Major League Baseball. And the end of the WNBA regular season is fast approaching. It's tomorrow, and we will talk more about that as we go on. Episode 413 starts now. One second, sorry. Anyway, let me do one adjustment. There we go. Awesome. I just bought this shirt today. I know, I want to kind of like go out in style, I guess, right? Anyway, back to the news. Yes, so the San Diego Padres' Fernando Tatis Jr. was getting ready to come off that wrist injury, and I thought it was ahead of schedule. Well, there was a reason. 80-game PED violation for Mr. Tatis Jr. I had nothing to say. You were taking roids, bro. Detroit Tigers shut down their ace pitcher, Tariq Skubal, and he will undergo further arm evaluation as he is starting to complain of fatigue. And for your fantasy guys, he is a scratch for the rest of the year. Lamar Jackson has done a really smart thing. As you know, we broke down his contract situation a couple episodes ago. Well, I'm here to say that he is smart in halting all contract negotiations until the end of the season. That way, if other teams want to give their quarterback something, there's more of a market to go off of than just the $230 million over 5 years, which is looking like that's going to be the model. Kentucky Wildcats head coach Mark Stoops, now this is football, when asked about men's basketball coach from the same school, that old John Calipari, and his comments as Kentucky being a basketball school, he says, "I'll just stay in my lane." And I believe that was a great saying. And this Kentucky Wildcats football program is getting better. Stars like Wanderlei Robinson, Will Levis getting ready. Wanderlei's already in the league, actually, and Will Levis will be in the league next year. So the school is producing, and Mark is doing a great job. I wonder if there's any relation to Bob. Wink, wink. There is. Anyway, that's it for the news. Let's talk NFL preseason week 1 from the Friday night games. Atlanta over Detroit 27-23. Cleveland over Jacksonville 24-13. Arizona 36. Cleveland 23. It wasn't Cleveland over Jacksonville. I don't know why Cleveland ties. Anyway, sorry with that. New York Jets 24. San Francisco 49ers 28, Green Bay Packers 21. Although Jordan Love goes 13-24 for 176 yards and 2 touchdowns. Looked all right out there, buddy. Yeah. But one thing I do want to say, though. During that whole controversy when we drafted him, number 1, A lot of us were on the Aaron side. And a lot of us were doubting this kid. A lot of us were talking shit. A lot of us were making our comments be known, including myself. As a fan of the Packers, I want to say I'm sorry for the doubt that I had in Jordan Love and being pro Aaron Rodgers, kind of big-headed at the time, even though he is one of the greatest quarterbacks that has ever played the game of football. Still deserves that number one role, but I'm glad to see that Jordan is getting better, and I am happy for our future with him as the Packers. And that's it for NFL preseason scores for Friday. Check back tomorrow. We'll have all the Saturday stuff and a preview for the lone Sunday afternoon game as well. Let's talk MLB right now, though. We have Atlanta over Miami 4-3, San Diego 10, Washington 5, Cleveland 8, Toronto 0, Baltimore 10, Tampa Bay 3, Philly 2, New York Mets 1, Seattle 6, Texas 2, Los Angeles Dodgers 8, Kansas City Royals 3, Houston Astros 7, Oakland Athletics 5, and the St. Louis Cardinals over Milwaukee 3-1, Colorado 5, Arizona 3, Minnesota 4, Los Angeles Angels 0 because they suck, and San Francisco 5. Pittsburgh Pirates 3. And moving on to the WNBA, Washington over Indy 82-70, New York over Atlanta 80-70, Seattle over Minnesota 96-69, and Phoenix over Dallas 86-74. And that is it for WNBA. Now we're talking NCAA football. I know we did the top passers. I got a mock draft. A surprise. It's way too early. This is called the way too early series. Part of the way too early series anyway. There's a mock draft simulator, in which can be found and used on ProFootballNetwork.com, place where I frequently grab some information that I use for the episodes. This edition is going to be the first of its kind. First things first, it's going to look different to you. It's not a usual mock. In fact, it's not a mock at all. The exercise showcases the collective thoughts on who the mock draft simulator, or the MDS, wants the team to select. While some franchises don't own a first-round pick, I'm certainly doing my best with multi-round draft picks or trading up to secure their desired players. Today I am to shed light on what I have done with the PFN mock draft simulator as we look at the percentage of times a player has been picked by the mock draft simulator for each team. Today we are going to go through half of the league and get with the other half at some point in tomorrow's episode. Anyway, here we go. I think that's how I'm split it up. Anyway, these are only selections made by my computations via the mock draft simulator. This isn't a predictive draft. Anyway, number 1, Jacksonville Jaguars take Jackson Smith-Njigba from Ohio State, another first-round wide receiver. Not too much surprise that the most drafted player by a fan base is, as the Jacksonville Jaguars are currently projected to the number 5 pick. Overall, they're going to need help at wide receiver. Jackson Smith-Njigba may just be the safest wide receiver pick, as he's a top threat on the nation's top offense. There may be some rarefied air for Smith-Njigba and his quarterback C.J. Stroud, as they both legitimately could be top 5 picks. Like, honestly, I think C.J. Stroud would be smart to stay another year, but he's probably going to go. Anyway, number 2, Minnesota Vikings, Will Levis, a quarterback from the Kentucky Wildcats. We were just talking about him. 25.2%. And number 1, the percentage was 25.9%, by the way. The first quarterback off most boards that isn't the big 2 of Stroud and Bryce Young is none other than Will Levis. Interestingly, though, enough, Levis heads the Minnesota Vikings in over a quarter of user drafts for the franchise. Weird, right? Whether you are a fan of Kirk Cousins leading the team or not, it appears fans' patience with the signal caller is growing very fucking thin. Levis showcased tremendous growth in 2021 as leader of the Wildcats, dotting the field with some impressive throws and offers a lot of upside, but he's an inexperienced quarterback who performed incredibly well in his first year starting in the SEC. With that being said, I still think he goes here. I believe he's a top 10 pick. Definitely worth the first round. I'm almost on the fringe about the whole top 10 pick thing anyway. Kansas City Chiefs, number 3, Isaiah Foskey, edge rusher out of Notre Dame, 23.2%. And again, this is not me predicting where they're picking. This is just percentage-wise. It's based on math. Kansas City Chiefs are projected to pick at the tail end of round 1, number 30th overall. Thank you. I just defended myself again. Even with that many picks ahead of them, the users are clearly in tune with what the machine is clearly in tune with what the team needs. Notre Dame edge rusher Isaiah Foskey is one of the 3 defensive linemen picked by the Chiefs in this format a heavy portion of the time. Foskey, however, comes in at just under a quarter of the time, as long as the defensive end brings with him high-level potential to be a game wrecker off the edge. The Dolphins, number 4, taking Bijan Robinson from Texas, a running back, 20.3%. This was arguably the least shocking, as the Miami Dolphins are selecting Texas running back Bijan Robinson, 20.3 of the time in PFN mock draft simulator situations. What was interesting... I'm sorry, I got a little too ahead of myself. What was interesting in the fact that Robinson's average draft position sat right at 24.2, as it appears users are the users that in the machine, are split between first round pick to select with him. Where Robinson is a game changer and brings with him an elusiveness in the open field with elite vision and great hands. This guy is going to be somebody. Number 5, Green Bay Packers, Quentin Johnson, a wide receiver out of TCU at 19.9%. Heavily mocked to several teams, TCU wide receiver Quentin Johnson is going to be the Packers probably just about 20% of the time. Johnson has terrific size at 6'4", 212 and comes with incredibly high projections. He's explosive at the line of scrimmage and at the catch point, and become an instant threat to be Aaron Rodgers' preferred target if Aaron Rodgers stays that long. He's definitely going to be a weapon for Jordan Love going down the line. Number 6, Seattle Seahawks, Will Levis, quarterback from Kentucky, 19.6%. Yes, you read it correctly. The Wildcat is out of the fucking bag here, as Levis is the top drafted player from yet another franchise. The Seattle Seahawks currently own 2 first-round picks, and it appears that fans are hoping that the Drew Lock experiment, even though he hasn't taken a snap with the team yet, is just a 1-year deal. They really don't fucking like that dude. Levis is heading to Seattle 19.6% of the time with an average draft position of 19.6. Oddly enough, meaning fans are using the first-round picks to select a Kentucky quarterback. Every time I put it in, it was the same damn thing. Number 7, Tampa Bay Buccaneers take Tyler Van Dyke, a quarterback out of Miami, Florida, 17.9%. And if you pay attention to our episodes, you know he was in my last segment with the NCAA top passers. The future is coming for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as 17.9% of sequences drafting Tom Brady's eventual replacement. Tyler Van Dyke has the chance to rewrite Miami history book as he can take the next step with Josh Gaddis calling the plays in 2022. Van Dyke showed great promise as a downfield thrower, but needs to show consistency with making his progressive reads. Something that Tom Brady is fucking excellent at. The jury is out though, but the hype is definitely there. If Van Dyke turns out to be what most think he can be, he may not even be available for the Bucs to draft at the end of the first round in 2023. I'm just saying, and I'm not giving up too much information on that. Number 8, Tennessee Titans take Michael Mayer, tight end from Notre Dame, 17.8%. Another tight end heads to Tennessee as draft simulator users are pegging Notre Dame TE Michael Mayer nearly 18% of the time. Mayer transcends the position as he plays all 3 facets on offense to an elite, near elite level. What separates him, however, is his ability in the receiving game, where he's a fucking master of that fucking craft right there. Number 9, Buffalo Bills taking Jordan Battle, a safety out of Alabama, at 16.1%. The future of the secondary for the Buffalo Bills is in flux, as both Jordan Poyer and Michael Hyde are getting longer in the tooth and nearing the end of their contracts. As you'd expect, the Bills are likely in the market for a safety in the 2023 NFL Draft, and here they go, taking Jordan Battle. Number 10, Atlanta Falcons, Jalen Carter, defensive tackle out of Georgia. If he was higher in class, he probably would have came out this year. The big man in the middle, Jalen Carter, is staying in the state of Georgia on 15.5% of tries here for Falcons picks. Carter is a massive man with tremendous skills, both pre and post snap, and is going to be a guy that's going to make a lot of tackles, a lot of sacks. He'll hop gaps to blow up the intended point of attack or chase down the ball carrier from behind at a consistent basis. Carter is a tremendous pass rusher and developed his game to an elite level at a young age already. He's like a defense transforming player. You get a guy like this, and you guys are all of a sudden making some extra stops on third down. We have for number 11, Philadelphia Eagles take Myles Murphy, an edge rusher out of Clemson, 14.8%. Philadelphia Eagles are selecting Myles Murphy from Clemson on 14.8% of the tries. Murphy is a physically imposing specimen who has improved each of the past 2 seasons. And the Eagles are selecting Murphy, who brings tremendous versatility, who will do wonders for the Philadelphia defensive line that just keeps getting better and better, apparently. Number 12, Indianapolis Colts, Paris Johnson, offensive tackle for Ohio State, 14%. Moving on from guard to left tackle, Myles Murphy is one of the nation's top candidates for first offensive lineman drafted. Indianapolis Colts fans are strong at the top for 4 players, including Johnson, all of which are on the offensive side of the ball. Johnson edges out a duo of quarterbacks to be the top selected player, as his versatility would pair nicely, and he can play both inside and outside at the next level. Detroit Lions will take C.J. Stroud here, 12% of draft, so don't kind of get the hype. This is not where he's really going. First of the top quarterbacks to be selected is C.J. Stroud for the Detroit Lions at 12%. Stroud displayed linear growth last year, including the Buckeyes leading them to new heights on offense and breaking 17 school records in the process. He's the nation's top middle-of-the-field passer and has a rocket for an arm. Lions fans are excited at selecting him with an average draft position of 4.2, the highest for either one of the quarterbacks with a draft percentage of over 10. Number 14, New York Jets, Will Anderson Jr., edge rusher from Alabama. Arguably the top player in the 2023 NFL Draft, Will Anderson Jr. may have been the first overall pick last year, had he been eligible. The New York Jets are selecting Anderson and Jalen Carter at a combined rate of 23%. Jalen Carter is from Georgia. And clearly they want to address the defensive line issue in April, which they're just completely getting better at. And he will be a candidate, I believe, for Defensive Rookie of the Year. And no questions asked. Los Angeles Chargers, Justin Flo, a linebacker from Oregon, at 11.9%. As big of a projected pick as there is, Justin Flo has hardly played during his time at Oregon. Yet the big linebacker offers ridiculous upside with his frame and athletic profile. The Los Angeles Chargers are projected to select 25th overall right now in my eyes, and Flo is likely to be there. As such, nearly 12% of other attempts drafting the Oregon linebacker to add an incredibly talented defense that is going to be crazy. Anyway, number 16, New York Giants take corner from Georgia, Kelee Ringo at 11.8%. Looking at the New York Giants' top drafted player with the projected 7th overall pick, Georgia corner Justin Flo appears to be the fan favorite. With great range and terrific size, though, Ringo may usher in a new era of long cornerbacks with freakish speed to boot. Kyle Hamilton from Notre Dame went to the Ravens. Hint, hint. He has great ball skills and could be a starter on a number of NFL defenses, especially the cornerback-needy Giants unit. Thank you so much for your continued support of the show. Tomorrow in episode 414, we will continue with the segment numbers 17 through 32. And I believe that's all I have for you on this 413 episode. Remember, today is Saturday, August 13th. Now we're ending the show at 7:11. Love you all. Wishing nothing but health, wealth, and success. 413 Sports Talk is back. Better than ever. And now everything is all caught up to date. And we're ready to go. Hit you with current stuff every morning. Love you all. Wishing nothing but health, wealth, and success. And we'll see you tomorrow with 414.